Most riders think that years in the saddle make them bulletproof. You've battled rain, dodged bad drivers, and racked up more miles than you can count. Surely that means you've got it handled. But here's the truth. 2023 was the deadliest year for motorcyclists in decades. And the riders most likely to be in those fatal statistics weren't rookies. They were veterans. These aren't freak accidents or bad luck. They're predictable, repeatable patterns born from habits we don't even notice anymore. The kind that quietly stack the odds against us until one day they cash in. In this video, we're breaking down 5 deadly mistakes you might be making without realizing it. Mistakes that don't just risk your bike, they risk your life. And more importantly, I'll show you the veteran fixes that can keep you out of the crash reports and riding for years to come. Number 1. Riding in the death zone. A lot of riders think there's nothing wrong with running 10, 15, maybe even 20 miles per hour over the posted limit, especially on a clear road. I've got the skill, I know my bike, I can handle it. But here's the reality. The moment you push past 10 miles per hour over the limit, your odds of dying in a crash don't rise gradually. They spike like a cliff face. Physics doesn't care how many years you've been in the saddle. At 10 miles per hour, your stopping distance grows far faster than your reaction time can keep up. An unexpected car pulling out 200 feet ahead might feel manageable until you realize you've just eaten half that distance before you even touch the brakes. Add in impact energy doubling with every increase in speed, and suddenly a small cushion turns into a lethal gamble. Military crash investigations have seen this play out again and again. One case involved 2 soldiers, both experienced riders, showing off through an intersection. They were doing 20 miles per hour over when a truck turned across their path. Both were dead before they hit the ground. The veteran fix? Develop throttle discipline for every road type. In a group ride, agree to a top speed before you start. Peer pressure kills more riders than strangers do. Use visual checkpoints, signs, overpasses, driveway markers to periodically check your pace without looking at the speedo. And when you feel the itch to open it up, remind yourself, the difference between making it home and not isn't how fast you went. It's whether you had enough margin left when things went wrong. Number 2. Riding like you're visible. The SMIDSY syndrome. Many riders assume, if I see that car, the driver sees me. It feels logical. You're right there in their line of sight, maybe even wearing bright gear. But here's the reality. Drivers can look directly at you and still pull into your path. It's called SMIDSY. Sorry, mate, I didn't see you. And it's not an excuse. It's a real perceptual blind spot. Human brains are wired to scan for cars and trucks, not motorcycles. Your bike's smaller profile and speed make you effectively invisible in their mental filter. That's why left-turn collisions are one of the most common fatal crash types for riders. Drivers swear they never saw you, even when you were right there. Take the case of a seasoned rider on a sunny afternoon. He approached an intersection at 40 miles per hour, locked eyes with the driver waiting to turn left, and felt confident. The car pulled out anyway. He never walked again. The veteran fix is to ride as if you're invisible. Always. Position yourself in the lane where you're most likely to be seen against a background that contrasts your bike, not blends it. Modulate your headlight during the day, wear high-contrast gear, and use subtle lane movements to break up your profile. When approaching intersections, cover your brakes, roll off slightly, and time your arrival so you're not in a driver's decision window when they commit to a turn. SMIDSY isn't just a rookie threat. It's a constant, silent danger. And the moment you start riding like you're visible, you give away the one defensive advantage you actually control, expecting to be ignored. Number 3. Navigation and phone checking while riding. You tell yourself, it's just a quick glance at the GPS, or I'll just check this message at the light. But distraction isn't measured in glances, it's measured in the seconds your brain is somewhere else. And on a motorcycle, those seconds can be fatal. Colorado State Patrol data shows distraction is now the third most common cause of motorcycle crashes in the state, surpassing some mechanical failures. The danger isn't just when your eyes leave the road, it's the attention lag. Studies show it takes up to 7 seconds for your brain to fully re-engage after you look away. At 60 miles per hour, that's the length of 2 football fields, blind. One recent crash report told of a rider checking his phone-mounted GPS mid-corner. He drifted wide, crossed the center line, and hit an oncoming pickup. The investigation found nothing mechanically wrong with the bike. It was a textbook case of cognitive distraction. The veteran fix is simple, but requires discipline. Preload your route before you ride. Use voice directions through a helmet comms system, and pull over if you need to make changes. Keep your cockpit organized so you're not fumbling for buttons or swiping screens on the move. And remember, if a route cue comes late, ignore it until you can safely stop. Missing a turn is always cheaper than missing your life. In the car, distraction is dangerous. On a bike, it's a loaded chamber pointed at your head. The next time you feel the urge to just check for a second, ask yourself, is this worth 2 football fields of blind riding? Number 4. Overconfidence after basic training. Completing a basic safety course feels like a major milestone, and it is. But many riders treat it as the finish line instead of the starting block. You pass the test, get your endorsement, and suddenly feel trained. The reality? Those 15 to 20 hours on a parking lot barely scratch the surface of what real-world riding demands. Crash data proves it. The U.S. Army Combat Readiness Center has documented cases where riders with recent basic training were still involved in fatal accidents, often because they hadn't yet faced high-stress, real-world hazards. One soldier passed the MSF course, crashed a month later, recovered, and was killed in a second crash 5 months after that. The issue wasn't lack of knowledge, it was lack of experience applying it under pressure. Skills fade quickly without reinforcement. Panic stops, evasive swerves, and cornering judgment all degrade if you don't practice them regularly. Even veteran riders are vulnerable. Years of ingrained habits can override what you learned in class, replacing precision with autopilot. The veteran fix is to treat basic training as a learner's permit, not a license to relax. Enroll in intermediate and advanced courses every couple of years. Dedicate part of your riding season to skills refreshers. Set aside a parking lot day for braking drills, slow speed maneuvers, and emergency swerves. And ride with mentors who can spot your bad habits before they cost you. Confidence is earned over thousands of miles, not just a weekend of exercises. The more you train beyond the basics, the less likely you are to freeze, overreact, or misjudge when real trouble hits. Number 5. Weekend warrior mentality. It's Saturday afternoon, the weather's perfect, and you finally have time to ride. No rush hour, no deadlines, just open roads. Most riders think weekends are the safest time to be out. The reality? Statistically, Saturday between 2 and 4 p.m. is the deadliest riding window of the week. Why? Because weekends stack risk. Group rides often push speeds higher than solo trips. Fatigue from earlier miles dulls reaction time, and mid-afternoon traffic is full of distracted drivers running errands. Add in warmer months, June and August being peak violation months, and you've got the perfect storm. The U.S. Army's crash records show multiple weekend group ride fatalities where seasoned riders, not rookies, were the ones who didn't make it home. In one case, a 20-year veteran was riding sweep on a Saturday run. The group surged to overtake slower traffic, and he carried too much speed into a blind curve. He never saw the gravel until it was too late. The veteran fix? Mix up your riding days and times to avoid peak danger windows. If you're on a weekend group ride, set clear pace rules before you leave and stick to them. Build in rest stops before fatigue sets in, and assign an experienced lead rider who won't give in to pack mentality. Weekends should be about enjoying the ride, not gambling your life on traffic patterns and overconfidence. Treat Saturday afternoons with the same caution you'd use riding through rush hour, because the numbers say they're every bit as dangerous. These 5 mistakes aren't random strokes of bad luck. They're decision errors, and every single one of them is preventable. The truth is, riding sober, avoiding the death zone of excessive speed, and wearing full protective gear can cut your fatality risk by more than 60%. Yet too many riders, especially seasoned ones, still gamble with habits they think they've mastered. Here's my challenge to you. Before your next ride, pick just one of these bad habits and commit to eliminating it. Small changes stack up fast, and they might be the reason you get home instead of becoming another statistic. I want to hear from you. Drop your own invisible danger stories in the comments so other riders can learn from them. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share it with your riding buddies. And if you want to know 10 motorcycle safety checks before every ride, click here now.